You telling me that you're a night owl is just telling me that your circadian rhythm is screwed and you need to rebalance it ASAP. You're listening to the Wealthy Woman Podcast, and I am your host and wealthy mentor, Dr. Michelle. My mission is to empower conscientious women entrepreneurs to create a life full of abundance, purpose, health, wealth, and joy. In this podcast, you'll learn how to elevate your health, lifestyle, and surroundings so you can tap into your power, show up more confidently, and focus on what really matters. Sharing your gifts, better serving your clients, and showing up even more for the people you love. This is today's businesswoman, the wealthy woman. Hey there, Michelle here with another episode for you. But first, I want to know, what did you think about that interview with Stephanie Matos? So good, right? I would love to know one takeaway that you had from that interview. So send me a DM and let me know. So now, being that it's December, 2019 is right around the corner, right? Which makes this the perfect time for some reflection and goal setting. And speaking of goal setting, I have a little special something for you. So stay tuned till the end. But back to reflection, how has your body been feeling? How's your body been feeling this last year, this past month, this past week? What are one or two areas of your health that you can focus on improving this coming year? What has gotten in the way before that you can actually plan and prepare for ahead of time so you can overcome those obstacles instead of buckling from the pressure, the weight of those? So just a little food for thought there. But today, I want to continue our conversation about the adrenal glands. If you missed it, I did a deep dive with the adrenals in episode 72. So be sure to listen to that episode after this one if you haven't already. So when it comes to our adrenal health, one of the main influencers is our circadian rhythm. This is our diurnal biorhythm, our sleep-wake cycle. Okay. And with winter and the shortest day of the year fast approaching, it's important to talk about how to maintain a healthy circadian rhythm, even with the shorter, darker days. You may have heard of light boxes or even this new technology I actually just recently learned about called human charger. More on these later, but the gist is that we need a certain amount of bright light exposure, particularly in the morning, to help set this cycle and actually help set your bedtime, which is really cool. So when light hits our eyes in the morning, it sends this signal to our brain that then tells our adrenals to produce cortisol, our main stress hormone, yes, but also our waking hormone. You can kind of think of cortisol as the sun and melatonin, our sleepy hormone, as the moon. All right. So in healthy individuals, we have a good spike of cortisol in the morning, ideally within that first 30 to 60 minute window of waking, which helps our butts get out of bed. And this initial spike then gradually decreases throughout the day, and when it's at its lowest, usually between 9 and 11 p.m., aka your ideal bedtime, wink wink, melatonin enters the picture to help us power down and get to sleep. Okay, so this rhythm, as with most biorhythms, is really, really, really important because if our cortisol is too high or too low, we end up having symptoms. Now, a lot of the women that I work with actually have this reversed curve where their cortisol is actually low in the morning. Maybe they're hitting the snooze button like 17 times. They're super reliant on coffee to get up and get going. Maybe they wish that they could sleep for just that one more hour, right? And then they end up having these elevated cortisol levels at night, which means they can't fall asleep. Their mind is racing. They might feel anxious. Okay, that's a reversed curve. The good thing is that you can fix this rhythm, but to fix the rhythm, you have to fix the pattern, right? You can't just get out of fixing the underlying issue, which is usually lifestyle and behavior. Okay, so ideally adults should be getting anywhere between 7 and 9 hours of sleep per night. As we age, these needs tend to decrease a bit, but it's still super essential for healing to take place because long-term health really depends on the regeneration that happens while we're snoozing. One of the things is growth hormone. This is a perfect example. Growth hormone is known as the anti-aging hormone, and it's released while we sleep. And this hormone signals the body to regenerate tissues. It helps to clean out our liver, build muscle, break down fat stores, and also normalize our blood sugar. Pretty important stuff. And for those of you who are concerned about brain health and longevity, which if you're not, you should be, it's during sleep that free radicals and other inflammatory compounds are scavenged, kind of mopped up and moved out of the brain. And when we don't get enough sleep, we can obviously feel like our energy is in the tank, but it also results in decreased concentration, memory issues, lowered stress tolerance, mood imbalances, irritability, muscle tension, and can even make us more prone to catching that bug that's going around. So what do we do to help prevent these symptoms and make sure our body is in tip-top shape? So enter sleep hygiene habits. So I've already given away a big hint, and that was that an ideal bedtime is between 9 and 11 p.m. And that means actually asleep by 11 p.m., not just getting in bed at 11 p.m., okay? Now, I'm sure there's at least one or two of you who are listening who are like, well, I'm a night owl. That's just when I get all my best work done, or that's the only time I have to myself during the day. And I totally hear you, but you telling me that you're a night owl is just telling me that your circadian rhythm is screwed and you need to rebalance it ASAP. And you know, that boost of energy that you feel after 11 p.m., that second wind is actually just called stress. It's cortisol being dumped into your system when it should be at its lowest. AKA no bueno, right? So this second wind lets you get shit done, obviously, but it also keeps you from getting restorative sleep until about 2 a.m., right? Which means that you're missing out on quite a few hours of regeneration, detoxification, and damage control of your brain. Okay, so if you are already in the habit of going to bed after 11, that's okay. Just start going to bed like 30 minutes earlier each night until you enter that 9 to 11 p.m. window. Just do it gradually, and with the help of these other tips that I'm going to be talking about, you will be in a sweet early slumber in no time, okay? So to start, I usually recommend that you have some sort of pre-sleep ritual. You know, this includes getting off of any screens at least an hour before bed. And that ritual might look like stretching, having a sensual bath, meditation, whispering sweet gratitudes into your partner's ear. Whatever feels good and relaxes you works. Speaking of that, be sure that your bedroom is a sanctuary. Reserve the bed for sleep and sex only. No watching TV or checking social media, or ideally even reading in bed, because then our minds sort of associate being active in some way, shape, or form in bed. And that's not good, okay? Now, I'm an animal lover through and through, seriously. But if you have pets in the bed, please kick them out. If they're a dog, they've likely been outside, which means that they are bringing in who knows what into bed with you. And if you have a kitty, they use litter boxes. Like, need I say more? So aside from the yuck factor, aka inflammatory factors that could be affecting your ability to breathe easy or get into deep restorative sleep, they can also cause audible disturbances, right? They can take up space and create a disconnect from your partner. Now, that's my opinion, but you do you, okay? Also consider earplugs and an eye mask. You know, especially if you're having trouble sleeping, because to get the most out of your melatonin production, specifically the production that comes from your pineal gland in your brain, it needs complete darkness, okay? Now, things to avoid before bed include alcohol for at least 4 to 6 hours. If you are an evening wine drinker, then you're probably familiar with that 3 a.m. wake-up call, right? Again, that's your cortisol talking because your blood sugar basically dropped too low and your cortisol spiking up to regulate that blood sugar, okay? Now, also try not to exercise at least 4 to 6 hours before bed. This can also increase your cortisol levels too much, which can make it challenging to fall asleep later. Also, if you're taking any B vitamins, any supplements that have B vitamins in them, be sure you're not taking them past around 2 p.m. or so because those can be really energizing and obviously affect your sleep later on. All right, now for a little waking time hygiene. If at all possible, try to make your waking time consistent, even on the weekends. This helps so much because it helps to reinforce that circadian rhythm. And then when you wake up, get light in your face. I don't care how you do it, like open windows, draw back curtains, use a light box or something like Human Charger that I mentioned. When you are looking for a light box, get one that is full spectrum with at least 10,000 lux. That's Lux. And you can find these on Amazon. They're pretty much anywhere. But like I mentioned, Human Charger is a new one to me. I haven't tried it yet, but I actually might gift it to myself for my birthday coming up. So we'll see. But my understanding about Human Charger is that you put these little earbuds into your ears for 12 minutes and they shine light on a certain light receptive area of the brain that mimics morning sunlight. So super awesome for those of us who have better things to do than sit in front of a light box for 30 minutes every morning, right? All right, so maybe one of your 2019 goals will be to optimize your circadian rhythm. So I hope this episode was really valuable to you. I also have a hankering that one of your other goals might have to do with weight, and I'm just throwing that out there because so many women feel that way. So if that's the case, stick around because I've got something special for you. But I do want to summarize this episode. First, your health is largely dependent on your circadian rhythm, right? I hope you got that out of today's episode. 2, growth hormone is released while you sleep, and it's super important for cellular and tissue regeneration, detoxification, weight management, brain health, and so much more. 3, be asleep by 11 p.m. each night. Being a night owl is not a badge of honor, okay? 4, create a pre-sleep ritual and remove any sleep offenders. All right. And lastly, get bright light first thing in the morning. So if you did find this episode helpful, please share it with someone you love. Also, I want to let you know that I am opening up a small group program that starts January 1st. It's a truly exceptional, holistic weight loss program that actually resets your metabolism. Okay. It works with your brain and your gut. It's amazing. And I'm actually going to be doing it right alongside you. That's true. My goal is really to create a nice intimate group for this first round. So I've limited enrollment to just 20 people total. Both men and women are welcome. So if you have a partner that you would like to join with you, you both can sign up together. All right. So to learn more, you can head to wealthywoman.co/YMR, and that stands for Your Metabolic Reset. I will also link to that in the show notes. Otherwise, I'd really like to know what you thought about this episode, so hit me up on Instagram, send me a DM, or take a screenshot of you listening and tag me at wealthywoman.co. Otherwise, tune in next week for more awesome and actionable info. Chat with you then. All right, ladies, thank you for listening to another transformational episode. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? You know my mission is to help inspire and empower women to share their gifts, better serve their clients, and show up even more for the people they love. So if you enjoyed this episode, leave an awesome review so more women can find us and join us in creating a life of wealth.